Everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. For those of you who were new here, my name is Janet, Alyssa's behind the camera, and Jake's busy doing this and that around the house. So today we're starting our fall canning, and we're going to start it with what few apples we have left. I had a very dear friend go and pick these up for me. The box is misleading. The box says peaches. As you can see, it's not. Now, we've eaten a lot of them. I have a couple in the refrigerator, but the first thing we need to do is get them washed, and then they'll be ready to peel and do whatever we want to do to them. Now, I love apples. There are so many different things you can do with them. You can do applesauce, plain applesauce, cinnamon applesauce, caramel applesauce this, I feel like bubble gum. But you can also do apple slices, apple pie filling, apple chutney, you name it. You can do it with apples, just about it. So let's get busy. Let's get these washed, and then we're going to start peeling them. You do not have to peel these, and I usually don't. I usually just quarter them up and cut the seeds out. But I need my apple peels because I want to make apple scrap jelly. So I'm keeping the scraps. So today we will be taking the peels off, but please know that you do not have to do this to make applesauce. Today I'll be doing plain applesauce because if you do it plain, you can add whatever flavor you like. Oh, red hot applesauce. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's stay focused. Squirrel. Where was I? Oh, we're doing plain applesauce because if you do it plain, you can use it in your baking if you run out of oil. And it's been a couple years since I've done applesauce, and I need some plain. Let's get busy. All right, here we go. And to do this first part, we're going to take our apple, we're going to put the bottom end onto these prongs. And let's hope the settings are still right. And we're just going to start twisting, and this part right here is going to cut the peeling off of the apple. You know what I forgot? I got my trash can. I forgot to move this up close to the counter. We'll do that in a minute. Oh, I have the slicer on here. I forgot. Oh my goodness. Well, I meant to just peel the whole apple. I didn't mean to cut a big slinky looking apple. Anyway, that's the gist of it. You just peel it, and then we're going to cut it in half. And then we'll put these in the pot. Now there are a few little peels on them. We're not going to worry about that. That'll come out when we put this in the food meal. So anyway, let's get all the apples done. Don't explode down, but just do like this. Here we go, everybody. We have our big pot of peels and cores, and then we have our pot of apples. We've got them all done. I'm going to put just a little bit of water in here and let these boil, and then when they get good and soft, we're going to put them through, oh look at there, we're going to put them through the food mill. And it's okay that they're like this. You can put some lemon juice in here to help with the browning. I'm not too concerned about that. But what we're going to do with this is put it on the stove and let it boil for about 10 minutes. That way it will infuse the apples into the water, and we're going to let it sit and steep for, I don't know, until we get ready to use it, I guess. So let's get this on the stove, and let's get some water in here and get this on the stove. There we go. Let's get the lid on. So at this point, we just have 2 pots cooking. And we'll stir these so they won't stick on the bottom and everything gets all cooked down nice and even. And we have that water there so that the apples on bottom will not burn also. Alright y'all, now you know around here we don't believe in wasting the waiting. So what I've done is gone ahead and cleaned up the cutting board and the peeler and the knife. I've actually already dried it off, so we're going to put it up. I cleaned off some of the counter. Alyssa's getting that little bit, and then we're going to wipe it down so it's not all sticky. Okay, this is boiling, so we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Excuse me. There we go. And once that's done boiling, all we'll do is just move it off of the eye. Ooh, these are boiling too. So let's get them stirred around. All right, y'all. The timer just went off. I actually took the lid off of this and turned it down a little bit a few minutes ago. So we're going to turn it completely off. And then we're going to set it to the side. Now we are not going to use this to make jelly today. I'm going to do that in a different video. But I just wanted you to see how we did it. How we actually got the apple juice. Now as I was stirring these apples around, I guess they were just so juicy. Look at this. Whoops, y'all couldn't see that. Sorry, I didn't turn the timer off. Okay, that's all. But look, we can actually use the juice out of these apples to make apple jelly too. So I don't know which one I'll use, but either way, this is how you get the juice from apple scrap jelly. And these are really soft. I think they're about ready to process. And they're this soft because we cut them so thin. We didn't do it, did we? The peeler did it for us. It was unintentional, but we went with it. And these little pieces of peel you see, it's okay. Those will come out mostly with the meal. So let's just get this moved and let this cool down a little bit, and we'll put it through the strainer. And y'all have seen me getting that ready. Pardon my trash can there. I have a squeezo. Then I have the bowl for the scraps and a bowl for the applesauce. Okay, while the apples and scraps were going, I went ahead and got my jars ready. Now that I've got the stove clear, I've got the jars on the stove just to warm up a little bit so that when we get this ready, the jars are ready. Ooh, I'm excited. It goes really quick with those apples sliced thin like that. Now, at this point, we just take a slotted spoon, and I get a lot of the liquid out because if you don't, or if I don't, I'll have runny applesauce. And you'll have runny applesauce if you do it too. So we just put some in here. Now, let me say while I'm doing this, if you don't have a food meal, it's perfectly okay. You'll just need to peel your apples better than what I did. Cut them up, cut the core out, and you can use a blender, you can use a potato masher, you can put them in a food processor. You can actually leave them chunky. They don't have to be completely smooth. All right, now we've got the apples in here, so we just turn the handle, and if you need some help, you use your handy plunger. I actually had to order one because mine didn't come with one. I found this at a secondhand store for 20 bucks, y'all, and this is a squeezo. That's unheard of. And it's not wanting to turn for some reason. There we go. And, okay, so we may have to use a food processor anyway. And if we do, that's okay. You can use an immersion blender too, because all that should come out is scraps, but I see a lot of my apples coming out. But anyway, the concept is the apples, Melissa, can you get in here where you can see it? Can you see right here? Come around, baby. See, the concept is the apples are turned into sauce when you put them through the the food meal. And for whatever reason, this is not doing so well. I think it's time for a new food meal, guys. This has been giving me trouble. But you can see the sauce coming out. And you see more juice coming out than anything. So, just give me a minute. I may just get out the immersion blender and go at it. Okay, I am not super thrilled with what happened here. Most of my apples came out. So, call me crazy, but I'm going to dig through here and pull out a lot of the apples without the peels and put them in here. And I'm going to take my immersion blender to it. I don't want to waste. This takes a lot of time. But that's just the way it's going to have to be. I'm not wasting all these apples. And this is real life, guys. Sometimes canning can be frustrating because a lot of times things don't go right by the book. You just have to go with whatever happens and fix it. So we're fixing it. Okay, so as I sat there sifting through apples, I got to thinking, you know what? There are no cores and seeds in this apple mixture, so I said I can save those for like apple muffins or apple bread. So I'm just going to go with what we've got in here, and I'm going to save the rest. I don't have time to go through all those apples. So anyway, what I'm going to do is take my immersion blender and blend this up so it's not quite so chunky. Okay, and we've got that blended up. So now what we're going to do is let this come back up to a boil. We'll be right back. All right. I have these little snap bags. I'm just going to put a 1 cup serving in each bag. That way we can just easily pull out what we need for a recipe. I'm gonna miss. I'm in a hurry. Trying to keep an eye on what's back there. 2. Move those out of the way. baby. I love you. Gotta be careful. Here, hold that over here and you see. You got second place in sparring. Gotta be careful, baby.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you.
Four. I don't know if this is enough to make a whole one or not. Perfect, y'all. See, I just thought my applesauce was messed up because I lost all my apples. The applesauce will be fine, and we're going to get something else yummy out of all these apples. Oops. All right. Now the applesauce is still back there. I'm waiting for it to come up to a boil. So we're just going to get these situated and in the freezer, and we'll be right back. All right, let's get the applesauce into the jars. Now for applesauce, normally you would put the lemon juice and sugar in with the sauce, and I forgot, so I just added about a teaspoon to each jar. Now what we want to do is fill the applesauce to 1/2 inch headspace. Get these first few jars done for you, and I'll show you the rest of the process. Y'all, I don't know what the difference was today. I've done applesauce for years. I've never had a problem with applesauce. And I've done it the same way every year, except I have never cut my pieces that small. And I think that might be what the difference was. That's the only thing I can figure. Those little pieces didn't want to go through my food processor, the food mill. But anyway, the applesauce still looks great. I'm happy it will be just fine. And I still have apples to make muffins or bread, whatever we want to make later. All right, it's not quite full enough. Oh, and I almost forgot, you're supposed to debubble these. So let's get our spoon. I'll just run it down in there. And I'll tell you a little secret, I've never, ever, ever debubbled applesauce. And I've won at the fair with it. So, go figure, I don't know. But I'm showing you guys, so I want to show you the right way. That's what you do, and I'm just going to mess up my towel. That's all right, it'll wash right. Fill it the rest of the way up if you need to readjust the headspace. Now is when you're supposed to wipe the rims. I'm so sorry. See, that one has sauce up there on the top. Oh my goodness. Y'all, don't do this when you're tired or in a hurry, because you will mess up just like me. There we go. Now, let's put on the flat lid. And we're going to put the ring on until it's finger tight. Remember, when the jar starts turning, it's tight enough. Yeah, those are ready to go into the canner. So let's get the rest done. We'll be right back. Okay, we have them all done. I got 7 jars plus a little bit more of the 8th jar. Now let's get these in the canner. Uh-oh, I didn't know I had my canner off. Thought I would just show you what this looks like before I put this away. It's not runny. It's the perfect applesauce consistency. So see, we didn't mess it up. One thing I forgot to tell you, make sure your jars are covered by at least 1 inch of water. Okay, these are just about to come up to a boil. When they come up to a rolling boil, we will process them for 20 minutes, and that will be for pints or quarts. Again, don't waste the waiting. While I've been waiting for that to come up to a boil, I've got everything all washed up. I've still got to drain this sink from where I was washing the strainer part. That's going to take a minute, but we'll get it done. Okay, we are at a rolling boil, and I've already set the timer for 20 minutes. So we'll just let this go until the timer goes off. Okay. I just finished up cornbread for supper. I still got to clean up the mess, but our timer is about to go off, and then we can turn this off. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Timer off. Stove off. And I'm going to move these off of the eye just a little bit. Now, we're going to take the lid off, but we're going to leave the jars in here until the water is completely still. That way, we won't have siphoning everywhere. It's just water hitting that hot eye. So we'll be right back. We're all done. Let's get these out. There we go, everybody. There are our 7 pints of applesauce. Aren't they pretty? I thank you so much for joining me. I know it didn't go quite as planned, but that's just the way life is. You just take the punches and keep on going. You just figure it out as you go. But don't leave God out of the figuring it out. You guys, you know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.